Hi everybody, this is lesson 27 of learning JavaScript with Ryan, and we're dealing with the Navigator object. It's a built-in browser object. It is used to give us information about the browser of the person. So let's start by going to our JavaScript and doing some output to our block. A useful property would be cookie enabled. This returns a Boolean value, true or false, and it will either tell us true if there are cookies enabled in the browser or false if cookies are not enabled in the browser. Another one that we could look at is the online property, also Boolean, true or false. It will be true if the person's browser is online and connected to the internet. If they're working offline, then it will return false. Another property we could look at is the platform property, and that tells you which operating system is being used, Linux, Windows or Mac. And then we could look at one of my favorite ones, is the user agent property. This is a better choice because it gives you much more information. So I'll show you in Firefox as well different information. So the version of the browser, in this case it's Chromium version 28, and in this case it's Firefox version 24. If you were running Internet Explorer, you would see MSIE for Microsoft Internet Explorer. And then we have the platform again, operating system. We also have the version of HTML that is supported by the browser, and various other information. So if you wanted to check to see if they're running Firefox or Chromium or Microsoft Internet Explorer, you could just use a search function that we learnt about, one of the string functions, and search for the word Chromium or search for the word Firefox. Then you'll know if they're running that particular browser. So maybe let's do that as an example quickly. So if navigator.useragent.search, looking for the word MSIE. Remember that the search function returns a -1 if it can't find anything. So if we say not equal to -1, that means it did find it. Then we could say we'll make just a variable called browser, and then we'll just initialize that. Else if navigator.useragent.search Firefox not equal to -1, browser equals Firefox. And you can test each and every one. And then the last one that you do, you should use an else statement just to catch any other browser that you didn't test. And then you could say your browser is browser. So in this case my browser is unknown because I'm using Chromium. And then in Firefox's case my browser is Firefox. Then there is also a method that we could use. There's only one method really that's supported by all the browsers, and that would be Java enabled. So we'd say block.innerHTML is equal to navigator.java enabled, and that's the method. That also returns true or false. If Java is enabled in your browser, it will return true. If Java is disabled in your browser, it will return false. So in the case of Chromium, I have Java enabled, but in the case of Firefox, I don't. Don't confuse Java and JavaScript. Java is a completely different language to JavaScript. Okay, and that ends our lesson in working with the Navigator object.